In studio for a little bit is the feller who garnered 29% of the vote in yesterday's Shreveport mayoral general election. Dare I say, frontrunner Adrian Perkins. Congratulations. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you. You know, I'm always happy to be here.
Did you see this coming? Erin had talked forever. In fact, a couple of folks had, that the last, say, 3 weeks to a month that your momentum was building. What did you know about that, or was it a feeling, or was it a feeling at all?
It was absolutely a feeling. And people got to realize I was walking the streets of Shreveport for 8 months. So I did not see it coming until the last 4 weeks. And as you pointed out, I think it's a really good. No, I did not see it coming.
So let's go back. You said the last 4 weeks or so. Let's say 6 weeks ago, were you kind of, man, I got to fight harder. I got to try harder. I'm just not seeing it. This may not end well.
Oh, yeah. 6 weeks, definitely. But even within the 4 weeks, when I felt the tide changing, I still worked every day like I was in.
Explain that.
Well, you start to go out, more people notice you, more people want to take selfies like last night. And when you're knocking on doors, you start to get a much higher, acceptance rate of you. And it's just everywhere. It's in everything that you do on the campaign.
Basically, for lack of a better term, it's in your own mind, what the advertisers call Q factor was skyrocketing.
Exactly. That's exactly.
Mayor Tyler came out swinging last night. And this is the first time I think I really heard her go at you directly. I own a home here. I'm a proven leader. I've voted here. Offensive to you, or what you expect?
No, not offensive whatsoever. It's distractions that they tried to use in the primary to get the people off the issues and off the best candidate, and it didn't work there. And it won't work in the runoff either. So it's just a tactic. I understand her tactic, but I'm interested to talk about the issues with her. I'm going to be happy to debate her, and like I said, just stick to the issues.
Adrian, let's talk about your voting record. You've missed elections. People have reported on that.
Definitely.
Explain why you've missed voting. Do you regret it?
Oh yeah. I mean, so first of all, the question that people are trying to bring up is my participation or belief in the democratic process. I was literally putting my life on the line for our democratic process, not just going to the polls to vote, but I literally put my life on the line to do it. So that should answer that question. So if I could be home to vote in every election or make sure that my absentee ballots made it to the polls, I would have done it 100%, but instead I was in forward operating bases in Afghanistan or, compounds in Iraq, where often we didn't have the resources available to us where we were. So, I regret not being able to get those in, but at the same time, I know for a fact I was doing my part in our democracy.
Do you own a home in Shreveport? Do you plan to buy a home in Shreveport?
I do not own a home in Shreveport. I own a home in Georgia, but yes, I plan on buying a home in Shreveport. The thing is, I graduated from law school. I'm waiting to see what job that I get. So, that would be terrible financial planning for me to rent a home or buy a home prior to this election working out. So,
my nephew's a realtor. Can I give you a card? No,
you can.
Just a little behind the scenes
you
stuff.
Can.
Okay, you're 29%. That means 70% don't want you to be mayor. If you look at it that way, it also means 70 plus don't want her to be mayor. How do you get those votes as opposed to her?
And I was just about to say, I don't look at it as 70% don't want me to be mayor. I think everybody last night, I think the bigger number is the incumbents number, because if you look at the opposite side of that, it was 76% of the city that wanted change in the city. As we go into the runoff, I represent change for the city. So those that wanted change for the city, that opportunity still lives in my candidacy. So that's how I look at it. I don't look at it, as people not liking me as a candidate or my platform. And I plan on reaching out to the other candidates as well to make sure whatever their platforms were that attracted their voters, that I try to integrate that into my platform so that we can, make sure we're pushing Shreveport forward in a more holistic type of way.
Last night, what was as the results started to come in, what was the most interesting phone call you got?
You know what?
Maybe even not necessarily professional or political, but from a friend you hadn't spoken to or somebody. You see the point I'm making.
Yeah. So honestly, I didn't really pick up the phone last night. I did not pick up the phone. I put my phones away. I was surrounded by friends and family. I talked to a couple of very close supporters right prior to numbers coming in. But I was surrounded by friends and family, and they were kind of freaking out. So as a leader, you want to make sure you keep the room calm and you keep everybody confident. So I wanted to just, I made sure I exuded that.
I was thinking maybe a couple of, I was being kind of serious, a couple of teachers or classmates from West Point or something like that.
Well, I know you say keep it on the radio, but before I told Erin, I have 400 text messages between my phones. I have 200 messages on Facebook. So it's no way for me to get to everybody, even last night or this morning. So I'll be working my way through that. But I mean, as you pointed out, I've seen teachers, I've seen pastors, I've seen instructors from West Point, professors, deans from Harvard.
You're pretty proud, pardon me, you're pretty proud of the way you have put a coalition together. That tell us about that and why that's important.
I think if you look at my campaign, I think that's one of the things I'm most proud about. Shreveport has to come together if we're going to be successful. You'll see opportunities come to Shreveport, and because it's not from a particular tribe or camp, it's cut down. And we can't have that going forward. We have to seize opportunities that's best for the city overall. So I love the fact that I have black, white, Democrat, Republican, because all hands have to be on deck for our city to get out of the slump that
you just made a naval reference.
I know. My army friends will call me afterwards. I'm positive